Good morning, everybody, and thank you for hosting us here and having a hybrid meeting. I just want to start off by saying that. And then we will proceed with roll call. Commissioner Stewart present.
Commissioner Evelyn present.
Commissioner Levitt present.
Commissioner Prescott present.
Commissioner Matheny present.
Commissioner Navarro present.
I think Jeff is present, but he just stepped away.
Phelan Horton, Executive Director, present.
Yolanda Sonier, Deputy Director.
Nicolette Young, Assistant Director.
Sandora Hughes, General Counsel, present.
Candace Crenshaw, Education and Outreach Director, present. Alicia Bounce, Civil Rights Officer, Supervisor, present.
Sharif Donaldson, Civil Rights Officer, Supervisor, present.
Recording in progress. Okay, is that everybody? There we go. So I originally was going to do a very formal report, and I decided with the holiday season to actually, first off, just get some business out of the way. The Maryland Truth and Lynching Commission has finished its report. The link to it should be live soon. I will share it as soon as it's shared with me. Fortunately, I was unable to make the meeting yesterday where they were going to tell us when we would get the link. I apologize. As many of you may know or may not know, my mother took a fall. She fractured her hip. And we had the ortho appointment at the same time. So as soon as I get that, I will make sure that I share it with everyone in our group as well. I really wanted to take this moment and take this time and in the spirit of the holidays and coming together in friendship and in community to just first off say how much I appreciate every single one of you, all of our commissioners, all of our staff, all the work that you do. It has not been an easy year. And it's probably not going to be an easy year for a little while. There are so many pressures that exist on us, both professionally and personally. And this is that moment to remind ourselves that we are surrounded by individuals who are there to support us, who know the work that we do and the importance of it, and also by family and friends that truly enrich our lives and give us that both mental and emotional fortitude to be able to continue the important work that we do and make sure that we are enabled in some ways to be able to continue down our path and to inspire others to continue down that path with us. So I would just like to say to everyone, happy holidays. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Thank you so much for hosting us. And again, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Yeah, she'll be a road, but she'll be all right. Thank you. Okay, with that, I turn it over.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks to those commissioners who were able to show up in person, Commissioner Levitt and Chairwoman Stewart. We appreciate having you all as usual. It's a pleasure to see everybody. My report will be somewhat brief. I first wanted to highlight, many of you all may have seen the press release that was sent out yesterday referencing the settlement with Cracker Barrel. So I do want to highlight Raphael Bowen, who was one of our lead investigators here, and Ms. Bell's unit, who spearheaded alongside with the Office of the Attorney General, the investigative and resolution portion of that complaint. So just really do want to highlight the work that Raphael put in to getting us to this point where we were able to settle with Cracker Barrel The incident happened almost a year ago, involving some disabled students, and Raphael truly did jump in just to make sure that our voice was heard, and that we held Cracker Barrel accountable for the actions that happened during that incident. So I do want to just, for the record, highlight the work of Raphael Bowen in bringing this case to resolution. So if you all haven't received the press release, let me know, and I'll be sure to make sure that you all receive a copy of the press release. And if you all have any questions about that particular case, you can please feel free to reach out to Yolanda or Alicia in regard to that particular case. We are almost at the finish line with signing the MOU with the Maryland Real Estate Commission. As you all know, one of our priorities has been better connecting with folks within the real estate industry to ensure that we are effectively and affirmatively furthering fair housing. So we have, kind of been going around, I've been meeting with all of the local realtor associations to develop individual MOUs that will indicate any fair housing violations that they come across, that they will forward those over to us for investigation. As you all know, about 2 years ago now, we did sign the MOU with the Maryland Real Estate Appraisal Commission. I have signed the MOU for the Maryland Real Estate Commission. I should have it back momentarily. I just spoke to the commissioner earlier this morning, and he is signing the MOU, so I should have it back in my inbox between today and tomorrow, and then we will have an official MOU with the Maryland Real Estate Commission as well. From there, we will be going forward and signing MOUs with the local realtor associations. I met with all of them collectively and individually. So we do anticipate early in 2026 that we will have the majority of the local real estate realtor associations signing the MOUs, partnering with us as well as we think about fair housing. Tomorrow, I will be heading down to Cambridge to speak at the MACO Winter Conference. We did speak at the summer session. They asked us to come again for the fall symposium that they had, and then they'd asked us again to speak at this upcoming winter session as well. So we'll talk about the impact on civil rights in this current administration. So I will be heading down to Cambridge to present to those folks in MACO around the impact of civil rights and kind of where we are right now based off our current administration. So with that,
MACO is Maryland Association.
Accountants. Yep. With that, again, I also want to share the sentiments of our chair, just thanking everybody for the work that we all do. I tell folks all the time, I feel like I have the easiest job because I simply get to talk about the great work that the staff is doing day in and day out. But I couldn't be more honored to work with such a diligent and committed group of folks. So just wanted to again thank everybody, the commissioners, for you all showing up each and every month. You all extending your time anytime we need you all, questions or whatever it may be. You all also holding us accountable for issues that we need to be on top of and different perspectives that we need to be aware of as well. So again, just want to thank you all for the work that you all do. And here's to another great year that I'm sure we will have in 2026. Mr. Vice Chair.
Quick question. About the rail.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you, Dan.
Yeah, I was doing the little, the bedroom voice. My bad. Quick question around the MOU with the.
Wait a minute, Jansen, wait a minute.
I know you're saying a lot, but hold on, we can't hear you for some reason.
We missed all of them.
Try now, Jasmine.
My mic sound nice.
All right, there you go.
1, 2, 1, 2. No, my question, Cleveland, was you mentioned the Association of Realtors, and I know you obviously had prior relationships with them. I'm curious, did any jurisdiction or county have any question or concern about this MOU? And if so, what were their concerns?
That's a great question. So, when I met with them, none of them really had any questions or concerns. They were all eager to sign an MOU. The only request that they made is that they sign individual MOUs because the option was whether we do it collectively or individually. They just requested to do it individually, but all of them.
Well, you froze. I don't know if you're still there, if you can hear me. Did they freeze to you,
Yeah,
Jeff, not
yeah,
Glendon? Okay.
yeah, they froze. They came back.
They're back.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, you froze
Now
for
you're
like
back.
15 seconds.
No problem. So we haven't gotten any resistance or pushback from any of the jurisdictions, any of the local realtor associations about not signing the MOU. The only request, and again, we offered it up as an option in terms of whether they wanted to do it individually or collectively. They prefer to do it individually, but nobody has pushed back and said they're not willing to or concerned about signing an MOU.
Okay, copy that. And the last question is, you obviously want to see you at Mako tomorrow. Which session are you doing? What day and what's the topic? So I can make
Yep.
sure I pop up and embarrass you.
I like the way you think.
It is. I am on Thursday at 1:30. Last time it was Civil Rights Impact, and I forget the exact title for it during the winter session, but I'll get it to you before the meeting is over. But it is Thursday from 1:30 to 2:30.
Is Asha on that panel with you?
No.
Okay, she's doing another one, I believe. Then so they're two civil rights panels. All right, excellent.
Hi, everybody.
That the MOUs are somewhat different because the MOU with the commission and with the appraisal commission is focused on our relationship when it comes to complaints and sharing information about if they get complaints, if we get complaints, and all of these have been reviewed by their counsel and myself to ensure that the terms are something that both parties agree to. So it's like a contractual agreement that this is how we're going to try to function together in the future. And similar to some of the other MOUs that we have, like the Attorney General Civil Rights Unit as well. So this is, the MOUs are sort of like, in some instances, are rules of procedure, how we're going to interact, and then other ones are like local to further the fair housing, and that they're going to pursue and be alert about fair housing violations. Because when I've done training, it's always been they see it before we do. The realtors get the comments, they get the resistance, and if they don't tell us, we don't know about it because a lot of people just go along or just give up. And so it's really important to have those kinds of relationships so that they can alert us to what's going on out there in the community.
Any other questions regarding my report? All right, hearing none, I will pass it off to our Deputy Director.
Thank you. How's everyone? Good. And you look very festive. I'm so excited. Thank you. And I guess it is one. Holiday gathering. So it's our 1 year semi-anniversary. And we are delighted Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. And
Oh, I'm sorry, I had one more thing. It has been 1 year since Yolanda came here last year and introduced her at the holiday party. So we're going to take time to tell her a happy 1 year anniversary.
Cleveland, thank you so much for mentioning that and bringing attention to that. Thank you so much for.
It, but better make a fuss in January. But then that's our official meeting. It is. Just like my official meeting was actually February, but it started
And the day.
January 23rd. You still better make a fuss.
You put me on them.
That's right. Definitely put you on notice. For those of you who may be wondering about this gentleman sitting to my right here, and you know who he is with the commission, what he does, and all of that. I have the pleasure of being able to introduce Tariq to those who may not know Tariq. Tariq has been with the commission for 8 years, is a lead investigator in the housing unit, was a lead investigator in the housing unit. And we did a search for our new supervisor position, and I'm pleased to announce that Tariq is our new supervisor. So we can give him a round of applause. Congratulations. Tariq's official start in this position is tomorrow. But Tariq will be leading. His unit will be a dual unit. It will be part ADR and part employment. So he will be spearheading, you know, where we are with ADR and taking it further. And then he will have a couple of investigators that will report to him that will be investigating employment cases. And so, you know, I'm excited to have him on board. I think everyone's excited. Tariq, I don't know if you want to say anything to the commission and the commissioners.
It's a pleasure, and I'm honored to be a part of this meeting and to introduce you all to myself and my new role.
Thank you, Tariq. I didn't warn him that he was that I was going to put him on the spot and have a talk. So thank you. That was a quick statement on you.
Well, congratulations.
Just a couple of other updates. I think we've mentioned the past couple months that we were seeking, and we had some vacancies. We were seeking new staff. We have 3 new staff members as far as case processing that is starting tomorrow. We had 1 investigator, civil rights officer start maybe 4 weeks ago. About a month ago. And then we have 3 that are starting tomorrow. We have another investigator or civil rights officer that starts January 7th. And we have, we're slowly chipping away at our vacancies and trying to get a full house. And we have 1 more civil rights officer position that we are trying to fill. And then we also have a contractual civil rights officer 2 positions that we are in the process of trying to fill as well. So I look forward to once the case processing unit is fully stocked and ready, and we can stop all the interviews and everyone can continue to investigate. We'll be going through a period of time of training and onboarding for the new staff members. And I know Tariq, he will be onboarding as a supervisor at the same time of having tried to onboard new staff members. So Tariq and I will be maneuvering that together as we get him all trained up and ready to go. So I don't have anything further to share. Does anyone have any questions for me about case processing?
I'm not sure if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say congrats Tyreek. Hope am I saying it right, Tyreek?
It's pronounced Tariq, but,
Tariq. Okay, excellent. Tariq.
he's not late for dinner.
Yeah, well, definitely congratulations. And I just want to give you a word of warning as someone who used to have Yolanda as my boss. I just want to say, may the force be with you.
Thank you, sir.
All of a sudden, we having sound issues. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Okay, thank you. I have nothing further. So at this point, I am going to throw the microphone, I think, to Nicolette.
Yes. Okay, good morning, everyone. I hope that you all are having a nice, festive, happy holiday season thus far. You have my report. Yolanda has pretty much stolen my thunder, but I just want to reiterate that we do have some new staff members that will be starting tomorrow, 5 approximately, 3 in case processing and 2 over in education and outreach. We currently do have 6 vacancies. And those vacancies would include 1 administrative specialist that we're keeping vacant for Section 38, 1 assistant general counsel vacancy that we're keeping vacant for Section 38 cost containment. We are in the process of interviewing for another assistant general counsel, and then we have several case processing vacancies, but we are actively in the interview and or pending offer stage with those positions. Section 38 personnel. I'm sorry, was there a question about Section 38 cuts? Okay, thank you. Okay. I think I said enough.
I assume it's what the state is mandating.
Yes, yes, you have to keep some positions vacant. That was a last minute cut that they did during legislative session.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
that was my assumption.
Yes,
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 yeah.
yes. And I had actually spoken about it.
I appreciate that because I don't know much about the state, the workings of the state, other than
We don't either.
other than
I will say your report. Sorry, I was going to say your report was great because it gave contextual clues.
Yes.
Personnel cost containment requirements,
Yeah.
right there in the
Yes,
report.
exactly,
So
exactly. So just moving on, we have received, we do anticipate receiving our governor's allowance within the next couple of weeks. We have been actively engaged with our Department of Budget and analysts to address any of the issues that were brought up in her analysis of our submission. Office relocation proposals have been submitted, and we will hopefully start working with Department of General Services on doing site visits. Joint Chairman's report is due on Monday, December 15th, and the committees are requesting that we do a report assessing the impact of the new positions within the agency. And included in my report is a breakdown of all of the areas that they would like for us to address. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Yeah, my only question is your paragraph 4 when you talked about the fiscal year 27 governor's allowance review and that you anticipate receiving it. Just for my edification, I'm just having a senior moment, but what is the governor's allowance review? Is it is it essentially a fancy term to say if you have additional mid-year budget requests?
So, okay, so thank you for that question. So we submit during this budget cycle, we submitted our 2027 budget request to the Department of Budget and Management for review back in September. During the period between like September and December, they're doing a review of the proposal that we submitted to them, and then they'll submit questions to us that we need to answer, and kind of have a general idea of where they're going with the allowance. When we do the review, it's pretty much a technical review. There's nothing. They usually don't allow agencies to weigh in any further unless it's something that's just so absolutely egregious that we need to have a conversation. But it's a technical review. It's not really a review of yes, you could, we are proposing this cut and now you can go ahead and fight us on it. Once they send it to us, that you're just making sure that the numbers make sense. And that if there's something that they're proposing as a reduction, you need to make sure that that number that they are putting in the allowance makes sense to you. So this really isn't an opportunity for us to fight them on any potential reductions. It's just a technical review to see if the information is factual.
Okay, thank you for that. And I assume your proposed budget was, or per their instructions, was it just a continuation budget or maintenance budget?
Yes, it was a continuation and any anticipated new policies or anything that's associated with any new policies that we were implementing or proposing to implement in 27 that may have had a budgetary impact. We would include that information in there as well. But pretty much this new submission was baseline, just covering what we already have in 27.
Right.
I mean, in 26, excuse me.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome.
Just to add to that briefly, in transparency, initially our analysts did request that our budget is reduced in fiscal year 27. We have been working with the Department of Budget and Management and the governor's office in reference to that. So a lot of it has to deal with the new pens that we were given. So if you all remember, when we were given the 15 additional pens, as part of that, we could not officially bring the pens on board based off the turnover rate until October the 1st. Now, what Department of Budget Management has done on the flip side, it looked at those pens and said, because those pens have remained vacant, then we should abolish those pens without the consideration of why we hadn't filled those pens until that point. So we have had that conversation with them. We've had that conversation with the governor's office. And we are confident that they will adjust this initial recommendation. So it is not final yet, but I just wanted you all to know that there's a conversation that we are having with them right now.
All right, so my only question is the federal fund appropriation, is that actually appropriated or are you still waiting on that?
So the 2025, so we have not received our 2025 reimbursement yet. We're still waiting for, I think we received notice that EEOC had finalized
Going forward,
increase to our contracts based on the fact that we do have these new positions and they will be able to contribute. So we're ramping that up very quickly to get more federal funding in the agency.
Okay.
I know. I totally understand the environment we're in right now and the questions and concerns.
Yeah,
we're all concerned.
I know. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I think we'll have a clearer picture on, in part, some of it next month, because there are a number of FAPs who are due for renewal with HUD next month. So we'll have the opportunity to see how HUD handles those renewals. And if in fact HUD is going to move forward with this substantial equivalency piece, we'll have somewhat of a clearer picture, hopefully sometime next month as these facts go through. I think the closest one to us is New Jersey. So we'll see what that looks like. We are in constant communication with them to see what that renewal process looks like. And if HUD changes their status or reduces their contract, we'll have an idea to know whether we should expect to see the same sort of similar cut to ours at some point.
So also EEOC has changed the way that they're handling their contracts right now. So right now they have awarded everyone 20% of what their previous contract was. And so right now, what we are guaranteed is 20% of our 547 number. And then once we reach that 20%, then we have to request an additional percentage. And so they're doing it in increments as opposed to us having at the beginning where we know we have 547 cases. That is our contract. Okay. So we are maneuvering that new information and this new way. So.
Do not envy that.
Were there any other questions about, Nicolette's report?
Just the joint chairman's report that you're gonna be submitting, is it possible for that to be circulated?
Yeah, we can make sure you all get that. The joint chairman.
Yeah.
It won't really be much because we just hired the position.
Understood.
So the responses in that JCR report will be very short, but we will comply and submit our responses to that report.
It also gives us a nice baseline for going forward with it, especially I think the budgeting issues are gonna be continued for a couple of years. So, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions for Nicolette's report? Pass it up.
you. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna pass it on to Ms. G.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You have my report, so I'm not gonna go through the cases. But I do want to point out where, to raise the issue about our legislative initiative, the departmental bill that we have for adding education to Title 20 and where we are at this point. We finally, yesterday evening, on the way out the door, got a draft of the bill that was submitted to legislative reference. I haven't had a chance to go through it, but it's just a draft, which is why I haven't shared it, because it could change, it will change. We have been meeting with the Maryland Department of Education, the Higher Ed Commission, the Maryland Department of Disabilities. We also have met with the Department of Education has an inspector general, and we met with that office, and they were very welcoming to have some assistance because they said, we really don't know anything about discrimination law, and they are getting those inquiries, and they're going to work. The Department of Education meeting, they pretty much have been on board. We asked each of them to look at the package that was sent to the governor's office and give us some feedback as to any areas that they had concerned about or wanted to have input with, and meet with their constituents and their boards. So far they haven't sent us anything, but we're supposed to meet with them again. Because I think they had some turnover in terms of the person that we were communicating with. The Commission on Higher Education, they did submit a 4-page document that raised some of the questions that they had or some of the concerns that they had. And we are going through those and are going to meet with them again. And when I say we, it's the University of Maryland Law School Executive Director of the Gibson Banks Law Center, Lee Dixon, who had previously worked with OCR, the Department of Education, and Spencer and myself. Been meeting with all these folks and trying to, we want to get the feedback or have any kind of discussions or challenges before the bill drops. We have not we're not going to file the bill until session starts. One, strategically, because we don't want to show our hand and have people be able to gear up to attack. But Monique has been talking to the advocacy groups and getting their feedback as well as what they want to see and what they're concerned. Our message has been, we're not trying to usurp the authority of the various organizations, that we're trying to fill the gap of OCR. In terms of, one, they want to eliminate OCR from the department, or the whole Department of Education. But that there's been a slowdown in terms of the complaints that they have from Maryland. We looked at the data for complaints coming out of Maryland specifically to determine whether, and when we were putting the fiscal note to determine whether we could handle them or not. But they are reporting that there's slowdown in the cases that they still have at OCR. But what we put in the bill is that we're going to have concurrent jurisdiction with the various departments that we don't want to take over, because just like with the Department of Health, they're the experts. And we need their expertise to provide us with information. And so that this is a shared venture. It's not MCCR coming in to preempt the field and take it over. It is MCCR providing an option for citizens that may disappear if OCR doesn't continue to function the way it's supposed to, and also to provide an option, because basically you have the institution policing itself. So there's an independent option available. The devil's in the detail. The more that I dig into this and talk and learn, the deeper it gets, the more it gets. A lot of it is in the regulations. When we look at Title IX, you just see certain language, which is basically with Title VIII. You have minimal, but the real meat is in the regulations that determine how the process. And one of the things in terms of talking with the parties is that there will be regulations that have to be promulgated, but in the interim, just like we've done with the Department of Health, this is what we've done with the Real Estate Commission, is to do MOUs to at least set the groundwork while we flush out how we're going to work together with this concurrent jurisdiction. So there's still a lot more work. We have several meetings still lined up next week to go over some of the higher ed commission's concerns and with the Department of Education to deal with any of their concerns, and then go back to the bill drafter to make adjustments and changes per those concerns. But we will, once we got something that is literally where it should be, we'll share that with you for any additional input before we have the bill drop. That is where we are with that particular piece of legislation. It's just one piece, but it's a lot of work, because you really got to, the more I read, the more complex this education piece is. Any questions?
So I'm a former Title IX coordinator. Title IX's in it. I don't even know how. I mean, we'll have no access to educational record. The jurisdiction is different from the federal level. If it's all right, I'd like to see like some language on that, just because that's a kettle of fish that is completely separate and apart from like Title VII and.
It has been raised by the Higher Ed Commission, which is why we're doing concurrent, because there's things that we're not going to just take over. And they've raised some of those things about Title IX and access, and the thing is that no, right now we don't, but we can if it's put in the statute. Also, how do we, coexist with what is left of the federal oversight? And whatever that is. And, so there are things that may be in the bill that we sort of, like I call the Christmas tree bill. And that by the time you get to the bottom, to the end, you know, you've given away some of the bulbs, but you gotta have something to give away in negotiating. And also, feedback from, the committees in terms of what is, what they're interested in, what they think will work, if not, won't work. And it may be this year, you know, you put the idea out there, you put the concept out there, and that this is, my experience with putting out new areas of jurisdiction is that the first year is not going to be the year that it's going to fly. It's going to be, you know, fine-tuned as you go along. Now, miracles do happen, but the normal course of things is that you introduce the idea and then you start educating and you start working to fine-tune it where you have the kind of bill that will work and provide the option to the citizens of Maryland, regardless of what they're doing on the federal level. Any questions? And I would like to talk to you, Stephanie, about you know, what we have and your perspective from your position of having been a coordinator. We're looking for all input before we finalize a bill.
Yeah, I'm still certified at level 1, 2, and 3 to very Texas. I kept up my certs. Well, federal law requires that anybody that participates in the processes, including the jurisdiction or adjudication, has to have certifications, and you have to post it annually. So I just keep up with certs.
Any other questions?
I have some.
Yeah.
Never. It's something I saw.
Okay.
It's not related, it's just, I didn't notice it now.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. No worries.
yeah. No.
And
But
it's all one has to be.
Yeah.
I expected some.
Sometimes I'm have to.
I didn't know.
Oh, yeah, that too. I will, toss this to.
All right, happy Tuesday, everyone. It's so great to see you virtually and in person. I just want to highlight a few things regarding education and outreach. So we are really grateful. Also, just in alignment with everyone stating our new hires, we have 2 new hires that begin tomorrow, and 1 will be visiting us today during our Winter Fest. So we're excited to see our team grow and expand so that we can continue to expand our outreach to make our MCC our household name, and for, you know, different agencies to continue to train with us. So we're really excited. Also, I wanted to highlight, we had our community days of service. It was Yolanda's idea, but education and outreach made sure everything was organized and planned out. So we had our 2 community days of service on November 17th and 18th, which was really, really exciting. We were able to help impact the community, and also it impacted our staff. So it was a very, very special moment for us to participate in our community days of service at different organizations around our state. Also, I wanted to highlight education and outreach. We have been working really diligently, and I want to give you an example. We had an agency that requested conflict resolution training and sexual orientation and gender identity training. So our staff, our team went to facilitate these trainings. We had a training 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We had an hour break, and then we stayed from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. So, we didn't want to say, hey, we'll come back another day. We wanted to accommodate their requests. So I'm just really grateful for our team being flexible and accommodating those requests to ensure that we are disseminating the information out. Also, we were having a fair housing symposium December 12th and 13th that has been rescheduled to April. One challenge that we have been experiencing is just ensuring that we have our venues selected, solidified at least 60 to 90 days in advance to ensure that we get great participation. As a state agency, the state agency that we are, we don't want to have events and 12 people are showing up. The information that we're sharing a lot of times is free and it is so vital. So our Fair Housing Symposium has been rescheduled. And again, even with that challenge of solidifying venues in advance, venues are still being solidified, but that's just a challenge that E&O has been realizing that we're experiencing. So we're just taking different ways to navigate through that to ensure that we book our venues as far in advance as possible. I know that we're in December now, but I do want to highlight that we did book our venue for our 2026 Protecting Civil Rights During Challenging Times Symposium. It will be at Bowie State University. So I'm excited to share more details with that. We have requested the governor's appearance, who also presented last year. So that was an idea that Cleveland shared with E&O this year, 2025. So we're excited to implement it for 2026 again. The purpose is to let everyone in our state know how different agencies, grassroots organizations, human rights agencies are protecting civil rights and any questions that the community members may have. And as you see, we continue to expand our outreach on social media as well. There was a time we had 340 followers. Now we have over thousands. And we know that everyone isn't on social media, but it is helpful for our agency to be recognized on social media as well. Those are all the updates for E&O. Does anyone have any questions? Are you working with Asha, Billy? We've been working with Dr. Peters at Bowie. But if you have any suggestions, please share.
Believe it or not, Asha, who is their events coordinator over there,
Okay.
used to work for the Engineers Club. She was my coordinator for my wedding.
Okay.
I ran into her at an event over there that was done. It was done by the state for NC Sarah. So yeah, she's amazing. If you can work with her, I would 100% recommend it. That woman is a miracle.
Okay, thank you so much. And then, so to that point, Dr. Stewart, we've been working with Dr. Peters at Bowie State, and then he also sent out different activities. So education and outreach will be participating in other activities leading up to February to build the momentum for our Protecting Civil Rights During Challenging Times Symposium. So we're grateful to build that partnership.
That's wonderful. That's exciting. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments, suggestions?
You have a lot going on.
Say that again.
Other than my observation is you have a lot going on.
Yes, we do. And I really want to highlight, the work that the team is doing. We have been working really, really diligently. So we're, doing our best, but if anybody has any suggestions, just let us know.
I have nothing other than it's great, but it's challenging times. So
Thank you. And shout out to our executive team for always supporting us.
And you guys know I love preventative work. So
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Ounce of prevention, right? Pound of cure.
Thank you all.
That is all of the staff report, Madam Chair.
I believe for new business, we have a potential commission.
So we're going to executive session.
Oh, we're gonna go, okay, no problem. Sorry about that. New business. So as I said, I'll share that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have nothing. I'm just cold, so my teeth are
Oh. Every once in a while, I'm smart, I brought a shawl.
I know.
Also,
I know.
For new business, I would like to let everybody know for the April meeting. I've just checked with Cleveland and I'd like to have that as an in-person meeting. It will of course be hybrid so that if any members of the community wish to join us, that there's that opportunity. But I do want to get back into where we're doing this a little bit more regularly. It's not just a once a year occasion. April, hopefully the weather will be a little better. We won't be teeth chattering and freezing as a general rule. And then we'll look for some time, I think, in the fall, maybe early, because we do the gala annually now, to balance that and then also be able to participate in December simply because we get the rollover for the celebration. And I'm not going to lie, I love it. So I think that's where we are with that. I know we're coming into a new year. There's a lot of new things going on. So just everybody, if you can remain attentive so that we see what's coming out, the things that we can support, the things that we can attend, the ways that we can be helpful to the commission and its work, it would be very, very appreciated. And then also think about different ways that we can support each other in, sort of knowing what's going on both at the federal and state level so that we remain a resource as well as fulfilling our other obligations under the regulations. And I'm a compliance person, so yes, I say that under the regs. But I just want to make sure that we're all being hyper vigilant because things are changing so quickly on every level. For example, I'm attempting to create a bot, God help us all, I'm not a programmer, that just monitors changes at the federal level with legislation, and it's coming back with just hundreds a week. So it is a very busy time, and I just want to make sure that we're all engaged. Any questions, concerns, comments, anything else for new business that I forgot?
I would say, if I may add, Madam Chair,
Please.
I have been selected to receive the Martin Luther King Jr.'s Greenkeeper Award.
Yay!
At the ceremony will be January the 16th. It will be myself and Governor Westmore. January 16th, the Council of African American Leaders. We will update you all with the information. If you all are able to attend.
I'm marking my calendar right now.
It is a Friday night.
Yeah.
It is a Friday night, so I know folks may have other plans or other, but I know you'll be there. You'll be there with me in spirit. You'll be there with me in spirit. You'll be there with me in spirit. So we will be purchasing a table, and we'll send out the information for the event shortly. Candace has all the details, so she'll make sure that she gets you all the information. And if you all would like to attend, we can ensure that we save you a seat at our commission table.
Well, but we need to know if you plan to come, so
Correct.
we can make sure to have enough space for the commissioners and staff that wants to go.
I've already put it on my calendar. Thank you, and congratulations. That is well deserved. Well deserved.
I just want to say this is. I just want to say congratulations. It's sometimes people notice the work, and delighted that you have received this recognition of your efforts. So yeah, if you could, if someone is there, put it in the chat, the date and the time. That would be great as well. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, because I didn't hear that either.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I've been having a hard time hearing the whole time, but I've been catching bits and pieces.
We're sorry. It is Friday, January the 16th, but Candace is putting it in the chat as we speak.
We talk about, and I'm just going to interrupt for one quick second. Apologies. We talk about all the challenges and the triumphs. This is one of those great moments where we get to celebrate a triumph of someone in our team and someone so committed to the work of MCCR and what it does. So all I can say is congratulations. It is very well deserved, and it is reflective of your commitment and passion. And we appreciate that very, very much. I say we because I know you guys agree.
Yeah.
You like that assumption?
Yes.
So,
That's all I have.
okay. Old business. I do not think we have any old business. I think we were pretty cleaned up the last meeting. Am I correct?
Yep.
We got everything out that we needed, including our other commission led.
Yep.
So we're good on that.
Yep.
I think we're good. I believe we need an executive session. If everybody can hang out for a few moments. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.
And for everybody leaving the room that isn't coming back and everything else, happy holidays, and for everybody coming back, we're able to celebrate with you.
See you at the
And Glendora
wedding.
wins the sweater every year, I swear. You're the best holiday sweaters.
He hasn't seen Mr. Gary.
Uh-oh. You haven't seen Gary. Uh-oh.
I saw it was happening.
Uh-oh.
Competition this year.
It's hilarious.
Uh-oh.
I'll say that. I need to make sure I get everything.
You're not saying?
I wasn't invited.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
Some things I'm invited to,
Oh,
some
okay.
things, if I don't get an invitation, I won't.
I'm just so used to have executive sessions in Glendora State.
He's like, I'm not saying it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. See you in a little bit.
See you soon.
That's not working?
Candace,
Ew. Oh. Did you want Candace?
I was gonna tell him to get the cord, but that's fine.
I can jump on and, turn the volume on my.
Just commissioner. Okay, and then 4 of us. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. 4 of us. And can you hear us better than you were before?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
For me, the same, but
Prescott's like, nah.
Oh. She's
No.
muted.
We do apologize, but I want to apologize because we didn't get this information out sooner, especially to Madam Chair and Mr. Vice Chair in reference to a potential commission initiated complaint. We did receive, and Yolanda is going to provide you all a little more detail, but we did receive 8 complaints of potential housing discrimination. And anytime we receive
8 complaint or 8?
8,
Oh,
sorry, 8
the number
complaints.
8.
Yep,
Okay,
number 8,
that's
right? So
okay.
anytime we receive a number of complaints involving the same respondent, the same issues, we always seek to file a commission-initiated complaint and how we move forward. So Yolanda will kind of give you all some of the details in reference to the issues, but we are requesting that we accept the information and move forward with a commission-initiated complaint. And with that, I'll turn it over to Yolanda to talk about some of the issues involved in the potential commission-initiated complaint.
Thank you. So it's a housing case that would be, it's a systemic discrimination against mentally and physically disabled individual residents that is at a property. So the Department of Health, through one of their providers, Primus Health, has individuals at Somerset Bay property, and they started issuing them notices that they have to vacate the premises. They have not given any reason except for they cited the reason that it is improper use of the premises. They've been at the property. There's been no issues with payment. And they've also started issuing these notices to the tenants as well for them to vacate the premises. And they're only doing this to the individuals who are disabled and in their apartments through Primus Health. And so as Cleveland mentioned, it's about 8 different residents that we know of that have been issued the notices to vacate. The respondents would be A&G Management Company, which is the property manager of Somerset Bay property. So we are seeking to investigate that further. They're both the Department of Health and Primus Health has attempted to get clarification as to why they've issued the notices to vacate, and they have not given any other
reasons except for, that the property is being used for purposes other than a private dwelling.
Is it being used for anything other than the private dwelling?
Right, but as far as the information we have is that it is a private dwelling but they place people, so the leases, I believe, are in the name of, Primus Health with the actual tenant's name as well. Right. And they're saying it's not for the purposes of a private dwelling, which in fact they are for a private dwelling for the individual that is living in those particular, units.
That's the need to investigate.
Correct. Correct. So we are asking the commission for authority to move forward in a commission initiated complaint. It could be more than these 8 that we know of, but I think the 8 is.
So there's 8 that are leasing through Primus Health.
Yes.
And all 8 have been.
Yes, they all have been issued
at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
And
they've also issued the notices to the tenants that are in there, meaning the residents.
Yeah.
They issued it to Primus Health, the Department of Health, and the tenants that they must be.
Oh, that's nice.
So I concur with the commission.
Yeah.
I do too.
The property itself, I'm assuming is bigger than just that 8.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's, for lack of a better term, a control group.
Yeah, and that's why we're saying we know of the 8 because the 8 has come forward, but we don't know if there are additional residents who may be out there who just haven't reached out to us as of yet.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a little sad.
And you said Department of Health has reached out and been unable to get information. I'm assuming Primus has as well.
Yeah,
Are they cooperating with the
they
commission?
made multiple good faith efforts to resolve the issue. They are cooperating and are the reason why we know about it.
And Primus Health is what?
It is their care provider.
Okay.
Is my understanding, and their role is to get them placed in housing.
Got it.
Units. So
There's been no other defaults or things that we're aware of.
Nope.
Okay. Like I said, I started with that. I
actual-
agree with you.
So what they told us, they said that they had a clean record with no late rent payments, no lease violations, no disturbances, and that they've just done a systemic campaign of trying to get these tenants out of the property, despite the fact there's been no complaints about them, no late rent payments, no nothing.
That we know of.
That we know of, yeah.
Right.
That we know of
That's
right now.
investigation.
Because we have to be fair.
We do.
I'm sorry. I can't, I can barely see that.
No problem.
My eyes are terrible. Magdalena?
Yes, it's very interesting, and I concur that this needs to be investigated. A few things that I wasn't sure. Every single person also has some condition, some limitations. Every single one of them. Okay.
Yeah, that's why they are.
And then the other question is, they said that they're not complying with private dwelling. That that was the reason, Chair.
They said the property was being used for purposes other than a private dwelling.
Very interesting. This is a very interesting case, and it could be a case of discrimination against these individuals. So, but we don't know if maybe it could be that they want to raise the prices and they have a lower rent because of their conditions. So there's a lot of things that we'll find out with this investigation. Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Yes, it's very interesting and unfortunate, and hopefully we don't. The investigation doesn't reveal additional people that have been impacted, but it's very well possible that there are additional individuals who identify as disabled that this tapped into as well.
One more quick question. You said that Primus
Health.
Do they have any other spaces that have not received notice, or have all of their spaces replaced?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I think we
I was
know.
just curious. we were
Yeah.
talking about scope, so
Yeah, but they would know.
they would know, yeah, they'd have to know how many leases they have.
Yeah.
The only thing that we'll need, I know, Madam Chair, our initial comment has approved the initial investigation piece of it. We would need, obviously, 3 additional commissioners, to sign off, on the commission-initiated complaint. So if we have 3 of you all that would be willing to, I know we have Commissioner Levitt.
Here, I
Yep, Commissioner Navarro. And then is that Commissioner Scott? You had that Commissioner Scott?
I did. I can sign also.
And yeah, and if you want it, like, if you have it, I can do it before I leave.
But yeah, if there are 3 people there, then just do that.
Because we were you being here, Commissioner Scott. You know, we were thinking of you being here.
I was too. I listen, my meeting in the morning ran late and I couldn't get there and I would have to leave by 1. So I don't think I'll be able to make it.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, I know how cold it is outside, so I know these are all excuses, so nobody else had to go to the car. I hear you.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Evelyn's on his way here anyway, so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's 3.
No, I can sign it tomorrow at Mako. Look, I wanted to be there. I had an interview at 9 o'clock, and then I would have gotten there too late, and then it's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I just want to share I would like to share my,
You're muted. We can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
She's muted somehow. I don't know how.
You mute yourself, but we can't hear you on our side.
But it doesn't say muted.
No, I'm not. I'm not muted.
We had a problem. We still can't hear you.
Hold on. We just
We lost the speaker.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on.
No, I'm not.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay. Now? No?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, my apologies as well. I would have loved to be there as well, but I just came from a long trip from Asia, and there's a lot of things with the, as you may imagine, with the government and the agencies and so on, to take care of, and it's very disappointing. So. Again, I enjoy, have a great time. Eileen, thank you for your kind text. I saw it too late to respond. So I can't hear you now. I don't know if Evelyn, if Jensen can hear. Okay, so sorry, but enjoy.
That's all I got for the commission piece.
Okay. Can they hear us?
Yep, they can hear us.
We can hear you.
So, Eileen was saying to you, Magdalena, she was going to pick you up. That was why she texted you.
Okay. Yeah.
If there are no
Impossible.
other questions, no other business, then I will ask to adjourn. Any nays? Excellent. Everyone, please have a wonderful, safe, restful holiday season.
Yes.
Peaceful. Absolutely. So.
Same to all.
Guys.
See you all later.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
So,